Hey folks, this is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. As I have mentioned over and over and over again, I spent the majority of my career from the time I was a correctional officer to a sergeant in a confinement unit. There is no shortage of things that inmates will do in the confinement unit to try to manipulate you. No shortage. The last time I talked to you about stupid things that inmates do, it was threatening suicide because they didn't get their way. Well, this time is kind of along the same lines, but when they're creating a disturbance, i.e. they're yelling on the wing, they're flooding their cell, they broke a sprinkler head, they are kicking on the cell door. My personal favorite, they're rubbing feces all over themselves in their cell. You go up to counsel with these individuals, and one of the things that they are going to say, at least they do to me when I am in the confinement setting, is, I have a psychological emergency, I'm homicidal, suicidal. I don't know how you can be both. You're homicidal, suicidal. I'm homicidal, suicidal. And they scream this at the top of their lungs. I'm homicidal, suicidal. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're planning on having a murder-suicide with their roommate or what. But most of the ones that I'm dealing with this are the ones that have already presented a problem to me, and they're in the cell by themselves. Yet they are homicidal, suicidal. Are they trying to tell me that they're going to kill one of us? Is that what they're saying? I'm confused by the whole thing. I don't know what homicidal, suicidal. And that they all scream it, every single one of them at my facility. You piss them off enough, they will scream, I'm homicidal, suicidal. Let me give you an example of what it takes to get one to scream, I have a psychological emergency, I'm homicidal, suicidal. Okay? They've been in the cell for 10 minutes. Staff is inventorying their property to bring it to them. And you go down to do your 30-minute check or however often you have to go for your facility. And because that inmate doesn't have his stuff right now, he's going to start kicking on the door screaming, I have a psychological emergency, I'm homicidal, suicidal. They just started inventorying his property. You have tried to explain to this individual, you'll get your property when they're done inventorying it. Nope, that's not good enough. He's going to kick on the cell door, scream, yell, and holler, I have a psychological emergency, I'm homicidal, suicidal. Over property that they just got started with. It doesn't take much to set these guys off. And I have said it over and over and over and over again on this channel. I wish they would stop using suicide as a manipulation tactic. As always, I am always, every time going to take a threat of suicide seriously. Whether I know it's BS or not, I'm going to take it seriously. And they know that. Folks, when it comes to this kind of manipulation, it is an art form to deal with it. One of my former wardens used to refer to it as, we and the inmates are playing chess and we need to think 3 moves ahead. Okay, that's basically what's going on here. But I just think it's amazing that somebody can go from calm as a cucumber to having a psychological emergency and being homicidal, suicidal in 10 seconds flat. Folks, that's all I got for this video. All right, remember, if an inmate tells you he's homicidal or suicidal, if he's in a cell by himself, the homicidal really doesn't count until you pull him out of that cell. But the suicidal part, you have to take it seriously, okay? You have to. Because as soon as he screams, I'm homicidal, suicidal, you laugh at him and walk away from the cell, 8 minutes later, he's hanging there dead. You're liable, not the inmate. All right. This is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. You want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications when I post new videos. And leave me some comments. Let me know. Let me know if homicidal, suicidal is something that happens in your agency, in your facility, in your state, wherever. Okay? As always, there is no place for domestic violence in this world. If you are the victim or you know the victim of a domestic violence situation, 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-7233 is the domestic violence hotline. The people at the other end of that phone call have the tools, abilities, and resources to help the victims of domestic violence. If you know the aggressor in a domestic violence situation, please say something to somebody. Remember that the worst thing you can do is nothing. And if you are the aggressor in a domestic violence situation, there is help for you too. First, admit that you need that help. Second, ask for it. Folks, that's all I got for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. This is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle.